You know that feeling you get at the airport gate? Like you're in this massive crowd, everyone's trying to figure out the boarding announcements and dodge suitcases at the same time.
Yeah.
Feels like everyone's in a race to get on the plane first,
Yeah.
even though no one really wants to be in that race.
Right.
Well, today we're going deep on a potential solution to one of those big annoyances when you travel.
Oh, yeah.
Gate lice.
Ah, gate light.
We've got articles here about how American Airlines is actually testing new technology to deal with this.
Wow.
But before we get into all that, maybe we can start with like how this whole gate lice thing even started.
Yeah, so gate lice, the term, it actually goes back to 2005. It was on a Flyer Talk forum, and it's funny, but it also kind of shows how frustrated people were and still are with, how people act when they're boarding. It's like you picture these creatures just clinging to the gate,
Waiting to pounce.
Exactly, ready to like jump the second they hear their group number.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how this term, kind of highlights how passenger behavior has changed over time.
It really has. It feels like boarding a plane has become its own like weird ecosystem.
Uh-huh. Right.
So what do you think caused this rise of the gate lice?
Well, I think it's a few different things all happening at the same time.
Right.
One of the big things is just all the carry-on luggage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Airlines started charging those crazy fees for checked bags. So now everyone's trying to like shove everything they own into the overhead bins,
Makes sense.
And that makes people super anxious about getting on the plane early.
Totally. It's like this fear of missing out on bin space.
Exactly. It's almost like a strategic advantage to get on the plane first.
Yeah. I was reading an article and it quoted Scott Keyes, a travel expert,
Mm-hmm.
and he said that there's now a real benefit to boarding early that didn't used to exist.
He's totally right. And then you add in all the influencers on social media sharing their travel hacks.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like early boarding has become this badge of honor.
Yeah. It's more than just the baggage fees, though, right?
Oh, right. There's also the whole issue of lost luggage.
Oh, that's true.
Especially with all the travel problems we've seen recently. People are worried about their stuff ending up who knows where.
Yeah, I get that.
So you've got all that anxiety swirling around, baggage fees, lost luggage, plus social media hyping up the need to board early.
It's a recipe for gate lice chaos.
Exactly.
So how is American Airlines trying to use technology to fix this? Sounds kind of futuristic, honestly.
It is pretty cool, actually. They're trying out this system with boarding passes and sensors to catch people trying to board when it's not their turn.
Oh, interesting.
It's like a virtual gatekeeper.
Oh.
Only lets people through when their group is actually called.
So no more pretending you didn't hear your group number.
Exactly. If you try to sneak on this thing, it sets off an alarm for the gate agent.
Awkward.
Yeah. I bet that walk back to your seat would be pretty embarrassing.
So where are they testing this out?
Well, right now it's just 3 airports: Tucson International, Albuquerque International Sunport, and Ronald Reagan Washington National.
Okay.
It's a good mix of sizes and how busy they are. Should give them some good data on, how the system works in different places.
Makes sense.
So they're being cautious, which is smart, Want to make sure it all works before they go big with it.
Right. American hasn't said anything about expanding yet, so it'll be interesting to see if other airports like Phoenix end up using this tech too.
Definitely.
But based on what people are saying, this could be huge.
Yeah.
Everyone seems really positive about a system that makes boarding more organized and fair.
That's right. A lot of experts agree. Gary Leff from the travel blog View from the Wing.
Oh, yeah.
He pointed out how this technology basically enforces social norms, like, waiting your turn, you don't cut in line.
Brings back some civility.
Yeah. And then Clint Henderson from the Points Guy, he said this could actually help gate agents too.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to be the gate lice police all the time.
Oh, that's a good point. It must be stressful having to constantly deal with that.
Exactly.
So smoother boarding, less stress, fairer system. Sounds like a win-win.
It does, at least on paper.
But here's the big question. Will it actually change how people act?
Ah, yeah.
Or will the gate lice just find new ways to game the system?
Ooh, that's a good question. And it brings up some really important points about how effective this technology might be in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about people who really, really want to get on that plane first.
Yeah.
Like deep down.
Right.
Are we underestimating how creative gate lice can be?
It's possible.
Will they figure out ways to get around the system? Like, I don't know, maybe they'll start wearing those line stander costumes.
I can just imagine it. A whole new market for, gate lice camouflage gear.
Right.
But seriously, it does make you wonder if this will actually work long term.
Yeah.
Will it just change the battle for overhead bin space?
It's like an arms race
Yeah,
between the airlines and the passengers.
exactly. Everyone trying to outsmart each other.
But thinking bigger picture for a second,
Okay.
what happens if this tech actually works? Like, what does it mean for airports in general?
That's a big question. I mean, if it works for American Airlines, other airlines are going to want to use it too.
Right.
So this could change how we board planes like everywhere.
Wow. It's like the start of a whole new era of air travel.
Maybe. And anytime you have a new tech, especially something that affects so many people, you got to think about
What?
the ethics of it all.
Oh, it's true. How do we make sure this is fair for everyone?
Exactly. You don't want to create new problems for people who need a little extra help, you know?
Right. Like people with disabilities, families, older travelers.
Yeah, all of that. Efficiency is important,
Hmm.
but not if it means leaving some people behind.
Absolutely. And speaking of how things work,
Uh-huh.
this whole system, it relies on data, right?
Yeah, it does. Data from boarding passes, the sensors, maybe even from watching how people act.
Data, that can be kind of sensitive.
Definitely.
What happens to all that data? How do they use it?
Those are important questions.
Yeah.
We need to know what the airlines are doing with all this information about passengers.
Yeah.
Are they keeping it safe? Are they being honest with people about how they're using it?
It's a good reminder that as tech gets more advanced, we have to be more careful about how it affects us, even with something as simple as getting on a plane.
Totally. It's a balancing act.
Hmm.
We want to make things better and more efficient,
Right.
but we also have to protect people's rights and be ethical about it all.
So this new system, it's more than just about stopping gate lice.
Yeah.
It's making us think about the future of air travel, how we manage people's behavior, and the role of data in all of it.
It really is. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it.
So let's think about what this means for the average traveler. Will this actually make boarding less stressful?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But it could be a step in the right direction.
Towards a more, well, a more organized, fairer way of doing things.
Yeah.
For those of us who are tired of the chaos, maybe there's hope. Maybe we can actually relax a bit at the gate.
Maybe.
But even if this tech does tame the gate lice, there's still one question. Will people actually change their habits? You know, even with the tech there, will they still crowd the gate? It's almost like it's become like part of the whole airport experience.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Habits can be tough to break, especially when you're worried about, getting space for your bags or missing your flight.
Right, exactly.
But maybe this technology, if the airlines are clear about it and if it kind of becomes like the new normal, maybe it could help people chill out a bit more about boarding.
Yeah, it's almost like a cultural shift,
Yeah.
But this is just about gate lice and boarding,
Right.
right? What if this could change how airports work overall?
Ooh, that's interesting. What if this tech leads to other things that make air travel smoother? Imagine going from checking in to security to boarding without any, hiccups.
That would be amazing. Less stress, less chaos, more time to actually enjoy your airport coffee.
Exactly.
Okay, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Right now, this is just happening at 3 airports.
Right. But it's an important experiment. It could really impact the whole airline industry and maybe even change how we think about flying in the future.
So we've gone deep on gate lice and this new tech, but what do you think? Have you run into gate lice on your trips? What do you think about what American Airlines is doing? Let us know, because in the end, how air travel evolves depends on all of us, the passengers, the airlines, the people making the tech. It's about making flying better for everyone.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, this technology will help make things a little more civilized, a little more enjoyable, from the gate to your destination. Something to think about the next time you're at the airport. Safe travels.